8 million viewers tuned in the night Scrub Daddy became Shark Tank's biggest gamble. A smiling sponge that morphed in your hands, soft in warmth, tough and cold, and supposedly poised to scrub away a billion-dollar industry. Aaron Krause asked for a $1 million valuation on live TV, triggering a shark bidding war while rivals and skeptics questioned if any sponge could fight off giants like Scotch-Brite and survive in cutthroat retail. What made this simple yellow disc rocket from obscurity to $926 million in sales? And what cracks began to show as lawsuits, copycats, and talk of a mega sale threatened its happy face empire? Here's how Scrub Daddy's rise and fall actually began, inside the tank. Aaron Krause steps onto the Shark Tank carpet with a confidence sharpened by years of setbacks and late-night tinkering. In his hands, a bright yellow disc, cut with a smile and two round eyes. He introduces himself as the inventor of Scrub Daddy, a cleaning sponge unlike any other, and asks for $100,000 in exchange for 10% of his company. A $1 million valuation, flashed on screen for all to see. He wastes no time. 2 bowls of water, 1 steaming, 1 icy. Sit ready. Krause plunges the Scrub Daddy into the cold bowl first. The foam stiffens instantly, and he scrubs a crusted pan with a brisk scraping sound. Then, with a flourish, he dips the same sponge into the warm water. The material softens, and he squeezes it easily, showing how it glides over a wine glass without leaving a scratch. The demonstration is simple, but the effect is immediate. The sharks lean forward, eyebrows raised. A sponge that changes texture with temperature? It's not just a gimmick. Krause claims it's scratch-free on more than 24 surfaces and resists odor with proper care. He threads a fork through one eye, spins the sponge by its grin, and explains how the face isn't just for show. The smile lets fingers grip from the inside, and the eyes hold utensils for easy cleaning. Even the mouth is designed to scrape spoons and knives. The pitch is part science lesson, part infomercial, and all energy. Krause's voice carries the urgency of someone who has watched good ideas slip away before. He mentions his background in automotive detailing, the years spent designing buffing pads, and how a failed batch of foam, once destined for the trash, became the prototype for Scrub Daddy. He rattles off early sales numbers and points to the sponge's versatility. Tough on baked-on messes, gentle on delicate cookware, and engineered to rinse clean. But the ask, $100,000 for 10%, hangs in the air. Can a smiley-faced sponge really be worth $1 million? The room is quiet for a moment, the sharks sizing up both the product and the man behind it. Then the questions begin. Questions hit the table fast. Mark Cuban and Robert Herjavec press Aaron Krause on the realities of mass production and the threat of knockoffs. They see a commodity market crowded with cheap sponges and private label deals. How could a smiley face and a clever foam formula stand up against giants like Scotch-Brite or a wave of copycats? Krause, steady, points to early sales, his utility patent, and the product's distinct appeal. Still, skepticism lingers. Robert bows out, citing scale concerns. Mark follows, unconvinced that Scrub Daddy's edge will hold. Kevin O'Leary jumps in with a classic move, $100,000 for 50% of the company. He frames it as a fair split for a risky bet in an unforgiving category. Krause doesn't hesitate. He declines, unwilling to give up control or have his upside. The room tightens. Damon John proposes a tag team with Lori Greiner, $100,000 for 30% split between them. Greiner, sensing an opening, pivots. She's built her reputation on QVC, moving millions of dollars of product on live television, and she knows Scrub Daddy is made for the camera. Lori counters $100,000 for 30%, but she's ready to go alone. She touts her QVC track record and promises to put Scrub Daddy in front of a national audience within days. The tension climbs as Krause pushes back, determined to protect his valuation. He negotiates, aiming to minimize dilution without losing the one shark who can ignite sales overnight. Offers volley across the carpet. Greiner doubles her cash. $200,000 for 25%. Kraus counters one last time. $200,000 for 20%. After a brief pause, Greiner accepts. The handshake locks in a deal that keeps Scrub Daddy's valuation at $1 million and delivers the retail firepower Kraus needs. Kevin's 50% grab is left on the table. Damon's split fades. The queen of QVC claims the prize. The room shifts from skepticism to anticipation as everyone senses the next chapter is about to begin. Not just for Scrub Daddy, but for the show's own history of breakout brands. QVC's phone lines lit up before Aaron Kraus finished his first on-air sentence. Within minutes, the sales counter spun out of control. Orders for Scrub Daddy poured in so fast that nearly 42,000 units vanished from inventory in under 7 minutes. The system flipped to backorder status as hosts scrambled to reassure viewers that more sponges were on the way. Behind the scenes, Kraus's small team faced a tidal wave of logistics they'd never seen before. Warehouse staff worked through the night, hustling to pack and ship thousands of multi-packs, while third-party trucks lined up at loading docks with fresh inventory. Emergency calls went out to suppliers. Factory lights stayed on after midnight, with rush orders flying out the door to meet QVC's strict delivery windows. Missing a shipment meant penalties, and worse, a missed promise to their new customers. Overtime pay and air freight costs piled up, burning through the margin on every box. But the alternative was unthinkable, letting the biggest break in company history slip away. In those first hours, Scrub Daddy's small operation transformed into a national player, forced to scale up in real time. The QVC sellout wasn't just a marketing win, it was a stress test, exposing every weak link in the supply chain. For Kraus and his staff, the pressure was relentless, but the reward was clear. Scrub Daddy's smiling face was now stamped on the national consciousness, and the phone kept ringing with new opportunities. The scramble for inventory would soon give way to something bigger: the challenge of keeping up with a market that suddenly couldn't get enough. By 2023, Scrub Daddy had become a fixture in American homes and on retail shelves, with annual revenue soaring past $220 million and lifetime retail sales exceeding $926 million. The Smiling Sponge had expanded into a catalog of roughly 160 products, reaching more than 250,000 locations worldwide. But growth on this scale brought new pressures. Retail giants, once eager for exclusive SKUs, began to squeeze margins and demand concessions. The collapse of key partners like Bed Bath & Beyond sent shockwaves through distribution, forcing the company to renegotiate shelf space and rethink its retail strategy. Competition intensified as private label versions and look-alike sponges crowded the market. Scrub Daddy responded with aggressive legal action, filing lawsuits to defend its signature design and proprietary foam. In one high-profile federal case, the company's claims were dismissed in May 2025, the court sealing details and leaving the outcome opaque. The legal battles underscored the challenge of protecting a simple, highly visible product in a crowded field. Inside the boardroom, questions about the next chapter took on new urgency. In March 2024, Scrub Daddy hired JP Morgan to explore strategic options, including a potential sale. Analysts speculated about valuation multiples and the interest of global consumer goods giants, but as of October 2025, no deal had been announced. The brand remained independent, but the future was uncertain. Success had brought scale, but also relentless scrutiny from retailers, rivals, and the market itself. By 2023, Scrub Daddy had reached over $926 million in lifetime retail sales and was available in more than 257,000 locations. The company's signature Flex Texture Foam, first pitched for $100,000 on Shark Tank in 2000, proved that a simple, demonstrable idea, paired with the right distribution, could disrupt a crowded market. Yet, even as Scrub Daddy expanded to 160 products and posted $220 million in revenue in 2023, new challenges emerged: retailer volatility, legal battles with copycats, and a public search for a buyer, with JP Morgan advising as of March 2024. No sale has been announced, and legal documents show at least one federal IP case was dismissed in May 2025. What remains unclear is whether Scrub Daddy will maintain its momentum or face renewed pressure from competitors and changing consumer demands. For now, the brand's story stands as a case study in seizing opportunity, while recognizing that every boom brings new questions.